think the world needs this.
Shout out to Twitter Spaces for giving us the platform to actually bring us together.
This is the beauty of having different voices in the room.
It's here. It's time.
Catch us Thursday,
9 p.m. Eastern. Jody will probably roll up at like 9:05.
Blame Jody.
Welcome back, and welcome back. This is the Sports Tea Podcast, where the tea is especially hot about all things NFL. Jody is actually dancing for those of you who are listening. So you cannot see this if you're listening, but she's like jigging over here. It's been a little bit because we've had life been lifing around here. We've all had some busy schedules, so couple of weeks off, but also we are now on Wednesdays. So I know you just heard Thursday in the intro, but it's just because I forgot to upload the new video. So hey, y'all, it's been a day. But we're on Wednesdays now. So of course, if you didn't know, I've got my co-host with me. It is E the Goddess, and of course, Jody Newsome Twin is here, and me, of course, the one and only Meg L Hall. If you didn't know, now you know. Word to Biggie. All right. Hello. Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, don't be a hater. All right. Let me get this out the way. So Jody has been talking trash in the group chat per usual. Just so y'all know, she's the main one who like stirs up the group chat. It's usually Jody. Apparently she made a post about me on her Instagram because I was a couple of minutes late to to the stream today, but lo and behold, I actually got here before she did. I just want to point that out. So hey, how are you guys doing? Good to see you.
Yes.
Hashtag word to Biggie.
I just want to make a public service announcement for all my girls out there. It is hoodie stealing season. We're getting close.
Oh,
Not in Dallas.
It's still August. Like it was like 95 today.
Listen, it was 106 here.
I'm ready.
Talking about a hoodie.
Are finna be stolen. Okay. I'm trying to pack up. Okay.
Can you give me like at least living in Dallas? I need you to cuffing season.
February.
You can't participate in this conversation.
Look, February
Cuffing season for me, honestly, if it's based off of weather, doesn't start till November. Because
I mean, I don't know why we're talking about cuffing season. She's talking about just flat out wearing hoodies.
But you're stealing your cuffing season hoodie, no?
Listen, I don't steal anybody's hoodie. I have my own.
Period. Strong, independent woman. She don't need your hoodie.
I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. Sorry, I do love you, my husband. I really love you.
I'm gonna say, my friend.
Right, that's what I said. Me and E can have this conversation. Meg can't have this conversation.
Well, just so you know, now this was way back when I was a little smaller than I was before I had kids. My husband used to steal my hoodies, which is crazy. I had a really nice hoodie for my alma mater. I went to West Georgia. He stole that because it said 1906 on it because he's an alpha. And then he stole my Auburn hoodie because he is an Auburn fan, and he just it be your own people. Let me say that.
It be your own people. All right. Well, like Meg said.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This comment, this is Deuce. It says it should be 20 minutes dedicated to Eric Bieniemy today. Did they see EB's hoodie Monday night? No, I did not see his hoodie, and no, we will not be dedicating 20 minutes to EB today. But we do have some Commanders talk on the dock.
Look, Deuce threw me all the way off of what I was about to say. Thank you. Anyway, so it is time for our segment. I've missed y'all. And the thing is y'all, we actually were like, we don't have a show last week. And then last week happened, and then life was like life, and like Meg said, we had an itinerary, had a schedule and everything. And then we was like, no, it ain't happening. And we had a lot of stuff to talk about. And the crazy part is we ain't talking about none of that this week. So that just tells you how spicy the NFL is right now. So
now he's dancing now.
Let's get into my favorite segment, hot tea or not tea. Hot tea or not tea.
Ooh.
I actually had to rework it a little bit today because, this Adam Schefter dropped us with a bomb, right? Let's go ahead and get into this 49ers conversation. Bang bang.
A lot happening.
Niner
What's up, Niner fans?
Bang bang Niner gang is crazy.
That's what I'm not making
I know, but
That's
still.
what I say. So today we found out that they are going with Brock Purdy as their number one.
Purdy.
It's a
They're
party
gonna go
party.
with Icy Ghost Sam.
Icy Ghost Sam is so disrespectful. Oh my gosh.
DC Kai.
Oh my gosh. Ty, please make sure you clip this. That is so disrespectful.
They're gonna go ahead and go with Sam Darnold at number 2, and they doing my boy dirty. Trey Lance at number 3.
It's nasty.
So, before we get into the conversation, is this hot tea or not tea? And this is only focused on the second string and the third string quarterback. I guess Brock at 1 is kind of spicy too. So is it hot tea or not tea?
It's hot. It's definitely hot. This is piping hot.
Yeah, and I would say this, the reason why it's hot, San Francisco gave up a lot to jump over my Atlanta Falcons to go get Trey Lance.
They gave up
have him on the third string is that I don't think that's, to be honest with you, I don't really think the 49ers really gave him a fair shot. He did. He only played a partial game, got injured, and don't get me wrong, Brock Purdy did what he needed to come do for Jimmy Garoppolo, but at the end of the day, it should have been a more, tougher conversation. Word out of the 49ers training camp is that Trey really wasn't catching on. So I don't know. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan was seeing. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's just trying to roll with the hot hand because of what Purdy did, last season for him. But I don't think they're really giving Trey really a really good shot. I really see that he's on the chopping board, and I would suspect he'd probably be traded by the middle or end of the season.
I hope he's traded before then. He doesn't deserve to be there. He needs to get the heck out of San Fran. He deserves better.
Hey, the Bucks might be calling. Never know. Just see.
Oh, Lord. This is definitely hot tea for me. I know y'all are so shocked by that, but this is definitely hot tea for me. I am of the opinion that how far has Trey Lance fallen off to where that Sam Darnold has like just, I don't know, leaped him for QB2. This is no slight to Sam Darnold, but he has really struggled anywhere he has been. And so there's a reason why he ended up at the 49ers, because he was struggling with the Panthers. He struggled with the Jets. Right. And so to me, to put Sam Darnold at 2, see the two things. Either Trey Lance is done in San Francisco, which that's going to be an interesting thing. Or the other thing is, okay, Trey Lance has really fallen off the side of a cliff and they just don't feel comfortable. I'm going to say maybe that's the scenario, because I'm not going to lie. I have never really paused at a QB2, announcement sort of thing. But I was like, wait a minute, what is happening here? Especially because fans were so excited about Trey Lance before the Jimmy Garoppolo situation, before the Brock Purdy situation. They were really high and said, hey, this is his team. I mean, the 49ers essentially kind of backed him too. It was like, hey, yeah, we're rolling with Trey. Brock is cool. He's going to be here. And now all of a sudden that dynamic has changed, which again, I know this is NFL, things change, but it's making me wonder, is this a fall from grace? What is happening here?
3 first-round picks to go get this guy.
That's
what I'm saying.
The first-round pick for me. Y'all literally wasted first-round draft picks, and he's your third stringer.
Give him a chance.
They didn't.
Who knows what they? So yes, hot tea, very hot tea. But y'all didn't even give him a chance. Y'all are saying that y'all know what I mean. Y'all, the world, y'all. Y'all are saying that he didn't do a great job in training camp. Well, did he really get the snaps that he deserved in training camp? Did y'all really give him the opportunity to go out there and be whatever player it is he needs to evolve to be? Were y'all really going through the coaching and training process with him? Y'all didn't. He had an injury. So for one, he couldn't do anything for a really long time based off of his injury. 2, when he finally comes back, y'all never even tried to give this guy confidence to go out there and to be QB1 or QB2. Y'all didn't even let him fight for the role to be QB1. I was in a Niners space today, which was hilarious. It's 500 people. They were hot. They were hot.
Were they fighting in there like they were at that preseason game? Because the
thing is I totally get it, right? So you can't tell. It's they sound like they were angry either with Kyle Shanahan, which I get it, because this is supposed to be the head coach who's supposed to be making these observations on these players. And did you do your job to even elevate this guy to be the guy that he needs to be? Or were you just like, no, Brock Purdy went out there and won 7 games when it was most important, so we're just going to go ahead and let him roll with it, right?
I think it's that second one. I think it's because of what Brock Purdy did, taking them like right after Jimmy Garoppolo and taking them to the playoffs, and I think they just felt comfortable with rolling. And I'm going to say they were rolling with the hot hand, but I just don't think that was a fair synopsis when you call him the starter last year, but you basically tell me that he's third string because of an injury, and you don't even really give him a chance to even prove that he can still be that same starter. Like, you started him over Jimmy Garoppolo, so I'm not understanding.
Exactly. And then y'all got rid of Jimmy. And so, I mean, I'm not 100%. I know that, like, Brock Purdy is healed, and I want to say this. I know that he's supposed to be back from this injury and he's supposed to be a whole lot better, but when it was after the draft. I can't remember the exact date. It was after the draft, but I was in Kansas City. I was at my parents' house. I was listening to ESPN when I was getting ready, and they were doing like a quick interview with Brock. And Brock was like, I don't know if I'm going to be healthy enough to play week 1. He said that. And so now we're just super high on him, and all of a sudden his recovery has just been so stellar and great to where he's a starter. I don't know.
I think they're forcing that. I think they're really forcing that. What's up, Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast? Make sure y'all follow them. But yeah, I really think that that's the that was a thing. He's not going to the Falcons. We're good. We're good, beloved.
I'm gonna save my hot take.
Oh my gosh! All these Falcons fans in the comments. This is your nasty work. Huh?
This is your nasty work. Look, me and Chiefs fans right now. Me and Chiefs fans got other drama right now. We all not getting along.
Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
No.
Jody's like, I run the show around here. I picked the topic.
Go to the Colts.
No, she wants your drama first before it goes.
I knew that's where it's coming. I knew that's where it's going. It's fine.
Y'all gonna get both, okay? It's coming. Y'all are getting both, but we just gonna start with the Colts first because y'all have been. So I don't know whose team has been dragging each other out longer between the Niners, the Colts, and the Chiefs. I don't know which team has been creating the most off-season drama this season. So let's get into the Colts. Jonathan Taylor requested a trade, and the team is actually going to let him go out and dip his little foot in the little water and see what the stand is like.
He has a deadline until Tuesday.
He got a deadline. Look, I'm not going to take none of Meg's shine, okay? I'm going to let her have all of this.
Like, Meg, you got a deadline to get this topic out.
Hey, man.
All right. So go ahead, Meg. Well, hot tea or not tea, that we're still talking about Jay.
This is very hot. This is spicy.
Baby, this is a hot pot of tea. Like, we're past
like we got 4 cups coming around.
Okay. Everybody here. Everybody listen. Everybody
listen too for Meg, because Meg got to take that side.
We're going to make hers a little hot toddy, though. We're going to put a little whiskey and some honey in there for her.
Just a little ginger, you know, little ginger.
Talk about your Colts, Meg.
I'm out here getting cooked. You know what? Honestly, I put this in the group chat, but I insert the little Denzel Malcolm X meme, like you can just hit the table like, hey, every time I turn around, there's something else with this Colts situation. And I think for me, I'm just exhausted. I'm like, listen, somebody decide whatever the heck is going to happen. I don't care either way. Somebody just decide. Everybody feels they're right, fine. But somebody just decide. Because at this point, I just want to get to the season. All right, end of my rant. But on another note, here's the thing. I'm not shocked at this at all. Like, I really think that this is much of the Colts being like, okay, so you want to trade? Fine, we'll go ahead and let you go dip the waters, but just know we still run the show. Because they still have to agree to a trade, right?
Yeah.
And they also, not only that, they have to feel like they're getting fair compensation for Jonathan Taylor. That's the other thing. The third thing is the money is going to be an issue. Who is going to pay Jonathan Taylor? So that's the biggest thing. Listen, if y'all hear that, that's Jody's phone going off. Her and her 200 plus group chat messages that she told us about before the podcast started. Just FYI. But now she's muted it so that, we can't hear her. But But here's we can't hear you at all, Jody. I just, by the way,
No, she did that on purpose.
Oh, she did it on purpose. Okay, all right. Well, anyways, but my point being is that hey, somebody's gonna have to pay Jonathan Taylor, and as of right now, the Dolphins are the first team that have been confirmed of hey, they showed interest. There's another team which I don't know what that team is yet, but again, this all comes down to multiple things.
They said it was 3 teams. Well, they said that there were 6 teams that were interested.
So 6 teams interested, 2 teams offered. So the Dolphins are definitely a confirmed, and someone else offered. But here's the thing. The Colts are going to want a CMC type of haul for Jonathan Taylor because they don't really want to move on from Jonathan Taylor. And I think that's the other thing. I'm going to pick at this a little bit. This narrative that the Colts don't want Jonathan Taylor or whatever because they don't want to pay him. Like, I don't know where this started, but that's not the case. The Colts very much think highly of him. They definitely want him around. The thing is, they told him, hey, we will talk about this after the season. That wasn't a formidable answer for him. Good job, Jody. That wasn't a formidable answer. That wasn't acceptable for him. So that's this hence where we're at now. So, hey, Jody, there's this little thing that, if you put your phone on like do not disturb, what you normally have your phone on.
My phone is on Do Not Disturb. It is my bad. I'm going into my settings. So please keep talking and give me a few minutes to distract.
But I just, again, I just want to point out that it's hot tea for the fact that, like, yeah, it's a real situation now. And the thing is, the deadline is Tuesday for the Colts that basically said, hey, if you want to move, like, you better go find the compensation and you better go start talking to whoever it is you're going to talk to get the money that you want. But we still have to agree to it. So caveat too, if this deal is not done by Tuesday, that is the deadline for Jonathan Taylor, who is not healthy. He still hasn't been medically cleared, and he could be put on the PUP list, which means he will not play for 4 weeks. So Jonathan Taylor, all that leverage you think you have, you better go find the rest of it because it is running out quick.
I'm just going to say this. I'm going to be tuned in on Tuesday because I wonder if they gave him to the league time of 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get it done.
Probably. I see these comments rolling in, and Barbershop said, then pay the man, Meg, not you, the Colts.
Hold on. That is a nice segue to go to the other team that's having issues with paying somebody. So, yes.
All right, I attempted to cut this on in my settings. We'll see if it actually worked or not. But yes, that Jonathan Taylor tea is hot. We already spoke about it.
So let me answer this question in the comments. If you could pull this comment up, I think it says, question, is it the coaches or the owner that don't want Taylor? And it's not necessarily one or the other. They both have said, yes, they want Jonathan Taylor. They've maintained that they want Jonathan Taylor. The thing is, though, it's been a strategic shift by Taylor when he didn't get what he wanted early on in April. He came in with very much the humble, like, hey, I'm obligated. They're obligated. I want to be here. We'll talk about it when we talk about it. But he didn't like that. The Colts were like, okay, cool. We'll talk about it after the season. And that's where you saw the shift. It has never been like, hey, we don't want him. I mean, again, would you think – let me put it this way. Before now, have you heard anything of the sort of Jonathan Taylor being toxic to the Colts, not a good locker room fit, or anything, any other narrative like that? You haven't, because all of his teammates have spoken up for him, coaches have spoken up for him, and validated that he is a good dude. Like, he's solid, he's great for the locker room. We really like having him here. The thing is now, this is just a dramatic shift because it's not what you're used to from JT. You're used to just the kind of the humble, chill, laid back, like, hey, I do my job, I go home sort of guy.
Right.
But he wants to be paid. I can't say I blame him. He's fully within his right to do that. But the Colts are also within their right. So this kind of like, hey, we'll let you go test the waters and come back to us. They still want him. And the thing is, like, they are not required to pay him at all. So they're not wrong for that either. So that's the thing. Like, I think for this team right now, they got both sides to figure out, okay, like, can we come together? If not, okay, cool. Where are we going next? And I think you'll see that play out over the next couple of days. Again, I'm just exhausted from it. Like, everybody sit down, everybody time out. Like, come on now. Like, at this point, this is just me now. This is me talking personally. I'm exhausted because on my timeline, every other tweet is either Jonathan Taylor and the Colts or the WNBA. And right now, I'm like, cool, WNBA is cool. But the Jonathan Taylor discourse is just all over the place, and everyone's got their opinions about it, which I appreciate. But it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, can you decide what you're going to do? Because the Colts actually have bigger issues than Jonathan Taylor, which is, hey, can you get your lives together and figure out this offense so that you don't look like the hot mess express that you were last season?
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
That's why we're gonna talk about your team, Mr. A.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
So the next topic of hot tea or not tea, Chris Jones and the Kansas City Chiefs. Why haven't y'all paying Chris Jones? Is this hot tea or is this not tea?
Oh, this is
you,
definitely
it's-
hot.
For you,
It's hot for you. It's definitely hot for you.
It's spicy.
Because Chris Jones said he had time. He said
Here's
he
the
could sit out till
most
week 8.
annoying tea. Okay, so let me just. I have been trying to avoid this Chris Jones conversation for what, 7 weeks now?
Yeah, we're
So
gonna have
here
it
we are.
today.
So Chris Jones, best defensive edge, period, after Aaron Donald, but based off of last year, I would say he's the best. Seeing as how Aaron Donald didn't play because he was injured and he was out, and Chris Jones was a dog when he was out there. No, I didn't.
This comment says Jody laughed like that's poor people's problem. Listen, she does us dirty all the time in the
don't
group
either.
chat. I just want y'all to know the nasty work we get all the time from Jody in this group chat.
No, you don't. So I'm not going to go long on Chris Jones because we did just have a 3-hour Chiefs space on Twitter talking about him. So I'm a little burnt out. But long story short, Chris Jones contract year. He played amazing last year. He finally had his proved who he needed to be in the playoffs. The biggest thing for Chris Jones was he never had a playoff sack. He finally got that sack this past year, right? So a lot of the issues was Chris Jones only playing so great because he was in a contract season and now he wants to get paid? No, Chris Jones has been one of the best defensive edge rushers, period, right? Pass rushers, period. So Chris Jones is holding out. He has not been at OTAs. He has not been at mini camps. He has not been at training camp. He did not come to the ring ceremony. He went to the ESPYs, of course, because he wanted to be on TV. And mind you, if you watch the ESPYs, the very first thing he said, he thanked Brett Veach, which is our general manager, which is really annoying. Anyway, so Chris Jones still hasn't been here. As you guys know, Chiefs are the first game of the season. We are banner night. We play 15 days out from today. A lot of the conversation is, what is the deadline that Chris Jones would need to be there and able to be not necessarily eligible, but, in game shape, right? So a lot of the conversation is right now, we would like to see him there Saturday for the preseason game. He probably won't get any snaps, but it's just the fact that you're there, you're in the moment, you're in the element, you're back at Arrowhead, you're getting what's going. So far, Chris Jones has accumulated about $1.6 million in fines for not being there. At the current moment, he is being fined $50,000 every single day that he is not there since training camp is now over. And he has been on cryptic tweet season since March. Like what? It's August. This dude been tweeting. So first of all, I learned that he was a Cancer yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. He's so emotional. He's so dramatic because he's a Cancer. But besides that, he's been just doing cryptic tweets, cryptic messages on Instagram and his story every day, posting like how he's at the airport and he got his luggage, right? So everybody's like, oh my God, he's on his way to Kansas City. And then he'll post from Miami. So, we know that Chris Jones's agent is in Miami. We totally get that. He is with the CATZ agency, KATZ agency. And if you don't know, their agency is I'm not going to say down and out and down and bad right now. They have 7 players on their roster who I really don't feel like going and digging up right now. Actually, I can. It's really, really quick. Here are the 7 players that they have with their agency. Chris Jones being their number 1 agent, not agent, but client. Mm-hmm. And then you go to Jody Forreston, who plays for the Chiefs, who is out for the season with a shoulder injury. They have Keith Kirkwood, New Orleans. Hollywood told me earlier they better pray he even makes the team. They got, I don't know how to say this man's name, but Olamide for the Eagles. Sorry. DeMarcus Robinson, former Chief. Byron Pringle, he's in Washington now. Okay. Former Chief. Sullivan for the Steelers. and Jordan Mason for the Niners.
I was waiting for her to say former Chief. I was waiting for her to say, "Were you?"
No, but they do have 4 former Chiefs.
No,
right?
I was just waiting for you to say it off of that name because it was starting to roll.
Right. So the thing is Chris Jones is their biggest client. So they are trying to win here. They understand the importance of making him be the highest paid guy that he could be, because if he is, this will not only bring in more clientele for them, but this will be a win from them. Everybody will get the payday that they deserve, all of these great things. So like, I totally get it. Now, I do want to say this. Aaron Donald currently makes $31 million APY, right? That's a whole lot of money, but Aaron Donald is a dog and he deserves it. So the number is what is Chris Jones actually looking for? Nobody knows the number Chris Jones is looking for. Based off of previous conversations with Chris Jones, he has said he wants to be the second highest paid pass rusher. He has said that several times. Well, what does that number look like? Quentin Williams finally got paid, and he's making, I think, 25 average a year or 24 per year. So automatically assume that Chris Jones is going to probably come in between that 26 to 28,000. Wow. 26 to 28 million per year. Y'all, I'm so tired of talking about Chris Jones.
You've been ranting for about 5 minutes now.
I'm not done all of the story because this is the only time I'm going to talk about it. So Chris Jones will probably come in between 27, 28 per year, but that ain't enough for him. And at the end of the day, it's what does Chris Jones want? Does he want the long-term deal, the 3 or 4 year deal where all the guaranteed money is in the first 1 to 2 years and maybe there's like a $20,000 sign-on bonus at the beginning that makes him happy? Who knows? Is Brett Veach like, no, we're going to give you a 2-year deal because you're 29. And if you know the Chiefs organization, they do not pay dudes over 30. Eric Berry, Tyrann Mathieu. They don't pay dudes over 30, especially on the defense. So we don't know what's happening here. We have no clue. Chris Jones said he ain't coming. He tweeted out yesterday that he ain't going to be here till week 8. And I'm going to tell you now, if Chris Jones misses and doesn't come back till week 8, that's $20 million out of his pocket. He ain't doing that. He ain't stupid. So imagine missing $100,000. You're going to let $20 million just fly?
I mean, he said he got it like that.
He said he got it. He said he got it like that. Cool. But I don't think you're dumb enough to miss $1.1 million every single game. Like, there's absolutely no way you're not going to get $1 million per game.
I mean, listen.
And just a little bit more about Chiefs drama. Charles Omenihu, who we just picked up from the Niners, he's going to be suspended the first 6 games of our season. So our defensive line is a little, Lord Jesus, please pray for it. Because if Chris Jones doesn't show up and Charles Omenihu is out, Patrick Mahomes going to put up 50 points a game, okay? So that is where we are at. That is all I have to say. Yes, this is dumb hot tea. It's stupid hot tea. I hope like the cup spills over on the counter and it spills on the floor.
What is that in your hand?
Lip gloss, because my lips were dry.
Oh, okay.
Listen, for somebody who didn't want to talk about the situation, you just went for a smooth 6 minutes.
That was you with the JT situation like 3 weeks ago.
Hey, listen, that was 3 weeks ago when wasn't what it was today. But listen, I don't have anything to add to that because Joey just just dropped the mic. So
I just want to sit over here and say, Reggie, I am not a hater. Shout out to all my fam that's in the chat too. But, yeah.
Hey y'all. Hey Atlanta.
What's up?
So I mean, that's the Chris Jones situation. So do we think we should pay the man? Yes, we think we should pay the man. Are we gonna pay him $31 million a year? No. Brett Veach ain't gonna give him 29. Like what? So.
Child, that's all I'm gonna say. Child.
I know. Child.
I mean, y'all asked for it, so I had to give it.
All right. What's next on the agenda?
Praise God. Josh Jacobs and the Las Vegas Raiders. So Josh Jacobs has shown up now.
Has he shown up? I thought he did show up.
I think he did show up. And
well, all I know
have I been under a rock today?
I probably should have researched this a little bit more. Josh Jacobs did show up. They did not come to a contract agreement, but I believe that he's there, but they haven't necessarily confirmed if he's going to play week 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now. Tom Pelissero said earlier today that they have shown no interest in trading their running back. He hasn't signed his tender and no deal is imminent to get him into camp. His status for week 1 remains to be determined.
I'm just gonna say here, shout out to Georgia's finest, Zeus. I see you, Zamir.
Oh Lord! In the comments, E and all these Falcons fans.
You know what? We're about to just ban everybody from Atlanta. No.
Wow.
Look, I'm like, hold on, that includes Meg.
That literally includes me. I live here.
So is this Josh Jacobs hot tea or not tea?
I'm gonna say not, because we already kind of figured
we
it out.
Kind of knew.
Already knew that. Like, if they didn't put a deal on the table, it's not going to happen. So I mean, and Zamir White is looking real good. So I mean, they're kind of in a good. They're kind of in a good position. But all in all, yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's hot tea. God bless you. I don't think it's hot tea either.
Thanks.
I just think it's a matter of they can't really afford to lose any more great players on that team. So,
hey,
I mean, if you want to know a fun fact, I had to use this in an argument yesterday. The Raiders are undefeated in the preseason without.
But it's a preseason.
Exactly.
Look, I'm just gonna say
that was actually my point of the argument. That it's preseason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the Raiders are still the team that you go to and fizzle out.
The Raiders are going to Raider.
The Raiders are going to Raider, and they're still going to be at the bottom of the division. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about something that is a little bit very interesting. Jackson Smith-Njigba. Apparently, he broke a bone, and no one knew it until like yesterday. And he had to have wrist surgery, and there's a very high possibility he's going to miss a few games. Hot tea or not tea?
I think it's hot for the Seahawks. All this hype and praise for JSN. And here's the thing: you need an earth, wind, and fire for the Seahawks, essentially at wide receiver. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and JSN. Like, I think there was a reason why people were like, "Ooh, that is a spicy pick" when they picked him up, just for his capabilities. So I would say it's hot too.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's not piping, but it's hot.
It's not hot. I mean, it's like after the tea and cool down, and you can finally sip it.
Oh, so it's lukewarm.
Yeah, lukewarm. Because I feel like the offense is not going to drop off if he does miss like a game or two. I think it with him there, it makes them harder to stop on the offense because of what they can do, but I don't feel like it's like something that's where it's going to drop that offense. Like, I could see if he was like the only wide receiver there, or like the number one and the second wide receiver. It's not. I mean, they still got DJ Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So,
and I mean, he was great in the preseason though. Like, he was flashing.
Exactly. So I don't think that's going to hurt him. Yeah. I mean, it probably will hurt him in the sense of getting that NFL game time and play time. But in the same sense, I don't think it's going to hurt the Seahawks.
Well, and I think the Seahawks can be careful about it. Like, they don't have to rush
him back. They don't have to rush him back. Yeah.
Because their offense is so loaded this season. I mean, that defense is still very elite.
I got that running back. I'm gonna call that man when I'm gonna call him, because I need me a glass. But I'm gonna call that man Chardonnay. Okay, I know his
Chardonnay.
But I just, every time I want to say it, I just want to say some Chardonnay. I really do. Okay, I really want to say Chardonnay. But they have I'm renamed him. So we clip this because I renamed that man. His new name for me is Chardonnay. I'm not
Chardonnay is crazy.
Yeah. So, but they have him as a running back. I feel like that's gonna help Geno Smith too. Like I said, their offense is fine.
Yeah, they're just fine. And I want to say this while we're on the Seahawks. Did y'all see that video of Pete Carroll?
Throwing with the gloves.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yes.
It came out wobbly though. It came out a little wobbly.
It definitely came out wobbly.
But
I love it. All right, let's get to the last topic of hot tea or not tea. We normally don't have this many, but again, there was a lot that happened. We got to talk about Sam Howell and these Commanders. Left and up. Who are we? The Commanders. Where you at, Deuce? Yeah, your Commanders. Let's talk about Sam Howell and these Commanders and give Eric Bieniemy his respect. Give him respect.
I'm gonna say this.
Hot tea or not tea?
I'm gonna say it's hot tea for the Commanders, because I think they were still having some ups and downs with what they were wanting with him. For me, I kind of already figured that it was going to be Sam Howell in the beginning. I mean, it was already inevitable because Eric Bieniemy can mold him to kind of how he wants him to be for his offense. So I feel like Sam Howell did leave us with more to look forward to, especially with that last game of the season against them and the Cowboys. So again, I feel like he was already on pace to do what he needed to do. So I mean, look, shout out to him. I mean, I already knew it was going to be it, but shout out to him though. He has been doing good in the preseason. I heard nothing but good things and great things. Still got some things to work on, but that's it in QB. They're not Aaron Rodgers, y'all. You know, they not Patty Mahomes. You know, but again, shout out to EB because he's showing that it wasn't Andy Reid. He's showing it wasn't Andy Reid.
And I'm so sorry, Meg, because I know you want to go next. I just gotta say, I'm so sorry. First of all, to all of those players who said that EB was too hard and that they didn't like the way that he coached and all of these things, and he got them boys in shape, and they out there in preseason games throwing dimes and looking good and having chip blocks and being open and doing all of this. Like, what? I don't want to hear a single word from anybody else on that roster. Period. I don't want to hear a single word from anybody else on that roster about how tough EB is and what he does. He had that team looking like they could compete in that NFC West. So shout out to EB.
East.
Shout out to Sam Howell because he went crazy. And yeah, this Commanders offense is going to be very, very fun.
He's still thinking he in the AFC West.
Listen, she's got too much.
Oh, NFC East.
You said NFC West. It was East. It's okay.
No, it's been a long week. It's been a long day. I'm hungry. I ain't ate.
Oh Lord.
I'll keep mine short and say that yes, this is hot tea for the Commanders. Sam Howell's a little bit of a gamer out there. He had some big throws. He had some throws that you probably want back, but overall, I thought he showed what you wanted to see. He showed some dynamicism. He showed that, I don't know if that's a word, but some dynamic playmaking abilities. Listen, it has been a long day.
We making a word today.
We figuring it out.
Hey, listen, we out here grinding. All right. But listen, you and this dances today are like absolutely sending me. For those of you who are listening, Jody has been dancing since we started this podcast.
That was my Millie ride.
I caught it. It was broken, but I caught it. But honestly, this is good for Commanders fans. They have been through a lot. Yes. They've got new ownership. They got a new offensive coordinator. That you got your new quarterback. Like they got some things to look forward to. So this is good for them.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pivot because we got a lot of more topics in 20 minutes. So joint practices. Joint practices have been really spicy all off season. It feels like there's a fight every practice. Am I the only person who's noticing this? What are y'all thoughts about joint practices? I'm not a fan of them. I'm okay without them. We don't believe in them as an organization anymore. So, yeah, what are y'all thoughts?
I'm going to jump in and say that
Go ahead.
I think me and Meg probably gonna say the same thing about them.
Meg, I got a lot to say about this.
The Colts and Eagles had joint practices this week, and Colts have also had joint practices with the Bears.
Yes.
With the Bears, it went fine. It was no problem. With the Eagles, it got a little chippy out there. You got folks blindsiding people. You got people calling people words that rhyme with itch, if you know what I mean. So it just got to the point where it really got out of hand. It got rowdy, very rowdy, to the point where it was an all-out brawl, and you got 150 players on the field at one time. Now, granted, Jason Kels came out afterwards and said, hey, I was a little too intense. That's on me. Like, hey, I think the world of these guys, blah, blah, blah. But what you got happening is the fact that I've been playing against the same dudes all off season, and now I got some fresh bloods, and all this adrenaline and everything else is coursing through my veins, right? Sorry, Deuce, we will not be going back to the Commanders.
I gave y'all a shout out and everything.
Yeah, come on, Deuce. Gotta get with the program. But my point being is that I don't really care about the joint practices or not. Like this is for me, this is a non sort of thing. Like it's cool, but I don't really care about it. What I care about is, are you competing? Are you playing hard the way you need to? Are we taking care of the details, the little things? Are we cleaning all that up? Like, I don't give a darn about joint practices. Like, that's cool, but what? Like, and then the thing is, how many times have we seen since last season joint practices just getting out of hand? Correct. You saw
out of like
I can think about Aaron. Yeah, I can think about Aaron Donald swinging that helmet last season.
Miles Garrett.
Yes, Miles Garrett too. If you think about hi. But if you think about again, this week, Jason Kelce took exception to a hit on Kenneth Gainwell and I mean completely blindsided Zaire Franklin. So like I get it, like y'all are out here competing, but it's just it is more unsafe than it is like beneficial, in my opinion.
Agreed fully. I think that they are not productive. I get it. Like, I get why people want to do it, but it just feels like it's so unproductive. And like, I haven't been to a joint practice, but how much are the starters really even playing? You know what I mean? Like, are the starters really out there getting the reps that they need to get? Because I'm pretty sure that they are.
No, they are
out there.
No, they're I put it
that's
to
why
you.
it's so chippy.
Yeah, I put it to
you. Ones with the ones.
But then that's why it goes back to this is very dangerous at this point because now you're getting pissed off. Oh, I'm sorry, I got something in mind. Now you're out here upset at a joint practice, and you could be causing yourself injury to be out for the season or for however many weeks on something that's not even working.
I would say this about joint practices because it's the same thing, kind of like it gets shippy when you're going up against your guys too. Sometime in practice, it can happen like that too. But what I say that, in my opinion, they are good to the point to test your starters because I do like the fact that when we played the Dolphins, we didn't play our starters the first game. We played the guys that were undrafted or the people that were fighting. Or camp battles, fighting for roster spot camp battles. Yeah. So I like to use that because, again, I'm a firm believer that starters really shouldn't be started in preseason. Get them out there, get the rust off and different things and stuff like that. Again,
I agree.
I want my starters to be healthy. Exactly, because I might sometimes you can see how bad these dudes get hurt in preseason. It's the same thing, But I do agree. I kind of like how the Browns had theirs. Hey, you fight. I know you're a starter. Guess what? You're going to start the whole game.
Get out there.
You're starting the whole game.
Go first half. There you go.
Yeah. And then if you are undrafted free agent or you're somebody that's probably fighting for a roster spot, you're not playing next game. So that means we don't have tape to evaluate you. So that puts you at a greater chance of getting cut from this team.
And nobody else has tape to evaluate
you on top of that too. So yes, you're costing yourself a job. And that's how I think that a lot of these teams need to address it like that. Yeah. Because that can keep that chippiness down. Because again, a starter don't want to go sit out there and go start when they know, especially not a vet, especially not no vet. You know what I mean? Somebody that's been in the league, for so many years, like, hey, you know what I can do. But at the same token, I still think that they need those to be able to evaluate because, again, you don't know what the other team is putting out. Half the time they'll put out their starters for one game, one little play, and that's it, and take them out. You know what I mean?
But I also feel like, so for me, I feel like that is the point of training camp. That is the point of mini camp, and that is the point of OTA because you're truly evaluating your players. I don't think you necessarily have to go up against another team to see how talented they are. You can figure that out when you have those preseason games. You already know who your starters are going to be, right? You usually know who your lock 20 people are going to be on your team. You know what I'm saying? It's the new guys or it's the year 2 guys who you're like, all right, I want to see them. And that's why you have your preseason games. Put them out there for a whole half. Put them out there for the third and the fourth quarter and let them go to work with the 2s and the 3s and the 4s to see how they evaluate. And I will say that's the one thing I really like about what we've been doing in camp. Our 1s just ain't with the 1s. Our 3s just ain't with the 3s. Everybody's rotating with everybody because coach wants to really see how is this person doing and lining up. Even in our preseason game we just had, there were some guys who were sitting in the number in the 2 and the 3 spots running with the 1s and looking pretty good. So, I mean, that's what I take away from it. I don't like joint practices just because I don't want my player to. Now, granted, Travis Kelce fights everybody. I don't know what's going on with these Kelce brothers. They fight. But at the end of the day, I would rather it be at home than it be something that could be escalated and be bigger than that with another team because now we're better than you, blah, 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 and it's leading to injuries that don't matter. So
Yeah.
I know y'all love joint practices. I think they're fun.
I just think they just need to have rules to them. That's all. Like you
No,
can
for sure.
have them. It needs to be rules to them to limit that fighting, because I think they are very helpful for some teams who are having those real tough decisions to make between players. You know,
I mean, especially because there's only one cut now, right?
Yes.
So you don't get the
Yes.
several cuts throughout the season like you normally get.
Exactly.
So you got to go from 90-ish dudes to 53 real quick.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy decision.
Decision to make. Yeah.
I get it. So let's go ahead and keep this conversation going. So there was something that just came out, I believe. I wasn't really paying attention. Meg sent it to me. But there was something that just came out on media, and it was NFL players talking about the NFL script. Is it scripted or not scripted? So
It's scripted.
we came up with what our own individual NFL scripts are. Well, I did. I came up with what I think, what my NFL script is for this season. I thought y'all took it that way too. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I have a script. So
Let's hear this foolery.
y'all want me to go first? I said a whole bunch of things for
I'm gonna snack on the fry while she talking on it.
Oh, you got.
Oh.
I said a
Listen.
whole bunch of things for my NFL script. Here is my 2023-2024 NFL prediction that the script writers wrote up and they dropped it off at everybody's one whatever drive, because you know everybody got a one whatever drive, Arrowhead, Cowboys, whatever, right? So my script starts off. I guess it ends. My script ends. The Jets and the Broncos both lose their division. Bottom of the division. See? Don't make that face at me, Meg. I think Trey Lance ends up in Tampa Bay. I think he gets traded to Tampa Bay. I think Stephon Diggs is going to quit in the middle of the season. He is so unhappy. And I love that, like, he's trying to, like, no, I didn't say that. I don't mean that. Diggs, boy, listen. We saw you in the AFC champion. Now, we saw you in the AFC playoffs last year going against the Bengals, who cooked y'all at home, and you were so mad and disappointed that you wasn't getting the ball. We saw you crying on the sideline in the camera about how you didn't get the ball. You are not happy. You have not been happy for a really long time. And that's totally okay. I also have the Saints winning the NFC Championship game. and I have it being a Chiefs Saints Super Bowl.
What, Jody?
That is my NFL script.
Hey,
Oh,
listen. I'm not responsible for whatever she just said on here. I just want y'all to know.
That was my NFL script.
Yeah, look at these comments.
I said, say what?
They went. Hey, listen, Jody got these comments going crazy.
That's the goal.
Hey, listen, I'm not coming behind that. That I got nothing to follow up behind that.
Because I think mine is funny. So this is
yes, Derek Carr is still the quarterback.
Yes, it is.
Don't do DC like that.
Hey, bro, you got these comments like there was like 8 comments that came in at once.
Dude, I'm dead. So y'all are gonna laugh at me. This is my NFL script.
Okay.
So, I feel like this could possibly happen, but I feel like Brock Purdy.
Possibly happen too.
Look, I feel like Brock Purdy can win MVP.
Will, come on now.
Look, Aaron Donald gets traded to the Eagles and win his 4th Defensive Player of the Year.
What?
Wait, what?
Like y'all just making up stuff. Like just
hey, Aaron Donald. Hey, he might want to do it. Let's see here. Oh, and Jody about to get mad at me about this one. Bill shock everyone and win the AFC.
The AFC what?
The AFC. The AFC.
I feel like their window is closed. Y'all know how much I hate Josh Allen. Right. Wait, did I show y'all that video that one of the Kingdom Queens sent me of Josh Allen throwing a pick? Yeah. And him running around? They was like, oh, Jody's gonna love this. I loved every second of it.
Love every second. Well, you're gonna love every second of this because he's going to the Super Bowl to play the Eagles, and I have the Eagles getting it done.
I mean,
getting it done. So yeah, that's my script.
they only went out and spent a whole bunch of money to be loaded, so they probably should have a return on that investment. Is all.
Oh Lord. Go ahead, Meg. But yeah, that's mine. Yes, that's my NFL script.
Well, I did a little bit different. I thought of it in the way, if I could go back and change the script, what would I change?
How did you get that, Meg?
Because I did.
Wait, hold on. It was the head nod with it. I'm gonna turn this way.
But no, if I could go back and change the script, like what would I change? I would go back and give the Colts back that second Super Bowl that we played against New Orleans. Peyton Manning would have never threw that pick.
We're talking about that. I'll go take that 28-3 back too.
Listen, we can go back. We beat the Bucs in the Super Bowl, and we got 4 Super Bowls.
Listen, y'all have enough Super Bowls, okay? Let us have some. Let me have my moment. It's bad enough that you cook us all the time in the group chat with Chiefs talk. Let me have my moment here. If I could go back and rewrite the NFL script, the Colts would have protected Andrew Luck. And this is no shade to Anthony Richardson, but maybe you aren't in this position now where you had 8 different quarterbacks since Andrew Luck. That is where I would go back and rewrite the script.
Okay.
All right. Now, if I go to current day, the Jets are not making the Super Bowl, contrary to Aaron Rodgers' little "the Jets win the Super Bowl"
You just don't
video.
Like Rodgers.
I don't like his smugness. That is what I don't like about Aaron Rodgers. He is a very talented dude, but the smugness is what I don't like. Now, granted, he's a great locker room guy. Everyone thinks very highly of him, but he comes off very
that's
smug.
what they said on Hard Knocks, at least. I don't know if it's true.
I mean, he comes off very smug, and very full of himself. I don't like that. That's just me, personal opinion. If I had to throw other little wrinkles in here, because I'm just, this is my thoughts or whatever else. If I could think of a world that would just shock everyone, listen, the Colts come through and just completely upheaval this entire division and win the AFC South when no one thinks that they would, without Jonathan Taylor, which would be like boom, boom right there.
Say the money. Say the money. Don't pay him.
But that's just like, hey, I'm just throwing a little razzle dazzle on the NFL script here. Otherwise, I don't honestly. Well, I got one more. This Russell Wilson Sean Payton pairing is not going to give what you think it's going to give, and it's going to be the Broncos at the bottom of the division. That is my spicy NFL script. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I said that too because it's giving.
They're in your division.
I'm sorry. I said that the Jets are giving Broncos 2022. I don't know if y'all saw today, but Peyton Manning in his presser after practice spoke about how because they had a joint practice today or something. He spoke about how he was very disappointed in the team because they were exhausted and they didn't have the energy that he expected them to have.
Oh, you talking about Sean Payton? Yeah, because their conditioning was not there.
Well, it's never. I'm not gonna say that there. I'm gonna let Russ cook. Okay, let's get into this last topic. Feel free though to tell us y'all NFL script comments.
I said the Colts winning the division script is not happening. Listen, that's because I was told the Texans are going to be the upset of the division. That's why I was told that the Texans were going to win the division. If you ask Texans fans. Just,
I just need CJ to get it together. He finally started having some stride nope, not even doing it. Let's get into the last part of this episode. I was saying, feel free to tell us your NFL script on It's a Sports Tea on Twitter. We will retweet and comment and engage with y'all because I really want to know what y'all scripts are for this season as well. This is the real script. Okay.
It said this is the real script. Aaron Rodgers is going to be bad for the Jets, and then he's going to play for the Vikings and lose in the championship game the same way Brett Favre did. Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
These comments are funny.
Y'all have been funny. We can tell y'all missed us. We missed y'all too.
We did.
So the last part of this show, we've been ranking divisions here lately. And we
Wow.
did not want to end this episode without ranking one of y'all's divisions. So today we're going to go ahead and get into the AFC, NFC West.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna go first because Meg got to bounce. So, my rankings for them. Hold on, let me pull it up. This is my rankings. AFC West. First of all, I'm not even gonna do the AFC West because we already know who's coming out the AFC West, so I'm not even worried about it.
But I still want to know the other teams, the orders.
Yeah. The Chargers are second, Raiders are third, and Broncos at the bottom of the
You have the Raiders at 3.
Have the Raiders at 3.
Okay. Like the
They still after Jimmy Garoppolo still can do something. He's not that great, but he still can do something. NFC West, I have Seattle, the Niners, Rams, and Cardinals. Even though the Niners does have a bomb ass defense, I will say that excuse me, kids, but even though they have a bomb defense, I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I do just feel like Seattle just finally puts it together this year. I really do. So I got them as number 1, the Niners at number 2, the Rams at 3, and we all know them Cardinals ain't gonna do nothing. So yes.
They're 1-1 in the preseason. We beat the brakes off of them. I forgot.
Oh Lord.
This comment.
Well, I've been wanting to give teams that have been counted out all of their recognition in the preseason, like the Raiders who were undefeated.
I'm dead. Me and Bray gonna have to have a talk about that comment. But
y'all can fight. Man, what's your predictions for the AFC West, NFC West?
So for AFC West, I've got Chiefs, Chargers, and then Raiders, Broncos. I actually will stick to my NFL script. I'm just not buying the Sean Payton, Russell Wilson pairing because I really think it's Russell Wilson. That is my personal opinion. I love Russ; he's cool, but I think that Father Time is knocking loudly, banging on the door,
like Grim Reaper-ish.
Yes. All right. For NFC, I'm actually still gonna go with the Niners. I think that defense is just too lethal. I like Geno, but I think he's got to show me that he can recreate what he did last season. So I'm gonna go Niners. Healthy Matt Stafford. Give me Niners, Rams, Seahawks, and then Cards.
Ooh. Seahawks at 3.
Seahawks at 3. Yeah,
I'm
just not sure. I'm not sure that Geno Smith can recreate. Like, I would love to be proven wrong. Please, by all means, prove me wrong. I would love to be proven wrong because I think that was such a good comeback for Geno. Yeah. But I'm just not sure that he's going to recreate that.
Get on you.
I am all in on this.
I think the 12th man is about to get on you.
Oh, probably.
Clip it, Clipper. I'm all in on the Seahawks this year. I think they are definitely going to win that division. Like E said, it feels like they finally got it right on both sides of the ball. And even though JSN is going to be out for a little bit, that's okay. He can be out. Let that man get 100% healthy. And he can't come back until the middle of the season because they want to make sure his injury is 100% good to do that. But I have Seahawks, Niners, even though they're starting with Brock, and then Icy Ghost is the backup. And then I'm doing Rams, Cardinals. So that's my order for the NFC. AFC, I have Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, because even though I do not believe in the Broncos or the Raiders, I think the Broncos have a much better defense, and that's what's going to save them. The Raiders always going Raider, and the Broncos always going Bronco, but the Raiders are really always going Raiders. So that is why I have them being bottom of the division. But I do think they're going to give the whole entire AFC West help. So, because they always do.
Exactly. Well, y'all.
Meg left.
Yes, Meg has to go run. She has another podcast that she has to attend to today. They got my girl running. They really do. So we're finished because I know Jody's about to go eat, and these wings are like smelling right now. So, and I want to go watch some Jordan football before I go to sleep because college football is coming, y'all.
This weekend,
college football is back. Yay!
I'm super excited.
Three-peat.
Oh my God! In the show.
In the show. Okay. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitter at It's the Sports Tea. Same tagline for IG. Okay, we do follow back, so please do that. Yes. And just make sure you like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. So yes, Please.
Oh, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we are not friends.
Hold on. First of all, hold on. D, I'm gonna send you a very bad text once I get off of here because I know you did not just say roll tide.
He did.
Okay. Yes. So make sure y'all do that. Make sure y'all check us out. Make sure you retweet. Bring a friend. If you bring a friend, we will love you. Let us know that you brought a friend. We'll shout your friend out. So make sure you bring them. But other than that, catch us every Wednesday. And yeah, we love y'all. Thank y'all for joining with us and keeping these comments popping.
Oh, and next week the 53-man roster should be out, so we really got some stuff.
Shout out to y'all fantasy teams. Shout out to y'all fantasy teams because
I can't wait. Yes, fantasy football. I have like 6 drafts next week. This is disgusting.
I retired. I won my little money.
All right, y'all. Have a great night. Thanks for tapping. We missed y'all. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye-bye. Mwah.